Jake.
Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. It is the semi-finals, and it's going to be an intense match. I'm joined by my man Tiana.
Hold on, my boy. Once again.
Can't wait to get into this one. It's going to be a big one. It is Adept taking on Energy eSports. Last time these two teams faced off in the group stages, 2-0 to Energy.
That's correct.
But I don't think Adept had the opportunity to play their favorite modes.
That's also true.
So we're going to see some Search and Destroy, map number 2. Then we're going to be seeing some CTF potentially from Adept. A very interesting one, I think, is going to be Uplink. I think Adept need to try turn that around, but I don't know, they're looking a bit slow on Uplink.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to Hardpoint, we're going to be crossing over to some Stronghold, and that's going to be one of the interesting maps that we were talking about just in a prelude to this game, saying that it is a very open map, so expect some AR bans.
Definitely.
Morgan, one of the players from Adept, actually came over to us a bit earlier. He's writing things down frantically on paper, making sure that they can get the right bans and make sure that they can get the right choices of exactly how they're going to get the competitive advantage. Remember, the team here will go through to face Team Astro in the finals.
In the finals, that's correct.
For 10,000 Rand and that Astro gear. Oh. So if we can take a look at the maps, as we are about to see all the maps that are going to be underway. It is Stronghold on Hardpoint, then we're going over to some good old Hunted action, then Infection on Uplink, Breach, CTF, and then closing off we're doing some Search and Destroy and Fringe. What are your predictions? What do you want to see here?
Round 11 S&D.
Round 11 S&D, that's what we like to see. As we are going to be crossing over to all of the action in just a second. Looks like both teams are set, ready to go. As we're going to kick this off with the pick and ban phase, it's going to be a good one. As we're going to get it underway in just a second.
Let's go.
All right, so pick and bans, what are you looking for?
Nick Holden, both of these teams are both equally strong with regards to AR. Wow. So
VMP gets banned almost immediately by Era.
I'm actually really surprised with that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm quite certain they're probably going to use the Kudo or the Pharaoh.
Yeah, so Jakey going to be banning out, protecting the M8, and then Drew saying, no way, bro.
No way, master.
Yeah, exactly.
The student is taking away your walking aid.
There we go. The walking stick gets removed from Grandpa Jakes. Just joking, Jakes, if you're watching this afterwards. We're just having a little bit of fun on our side. As Fast Hands will get protected by Robbie.
That's correct. All obviously, potential bans and picks here, Holden. The mandatory rapid fire ban and should be followed by the high caliber, if I'm not mistaken.
We always see that high caliber get removed pretty quickly here. I'm so excited for this game. We've had so much tension between these two teams. Unsaid, and some of it said face to face, it has to be said. But for now, who do you think needs to be the key players to step up the game from either side?
Okay, specifically Team Adept, I would have to say Blackouts. During the games against Astro, he was extremely prolific in assisting his team.
Especially in the CTF.
CTF and the S&D.
Yeah.
He was getting those cuts. He was using that psychosis efficiently. So yeah, Team Adept definitely Blackout has to be the man to step up to with regards to his previous scores. EN.
I think Brutal probably needs to just step it up a little bit, but Frosty needs to just continue as being, as you said yesterday, the most consistent player in South Africa.
I agree.
As we see the last two bans there, it was Flash as well as EMP. So now EMP got removed by Frost, which means he's quite confident on his streaks.
I would think so as well, Holden. There definitely will be playing for those Cerberuses as well as those rates if he can get that high.
So streaks are going to be a very difficult element in this game to take out.
It's an open map.
Yeah.
So you would be preferred if you could get perhaps even the darts.
Yeah. So the creator class system is going to come into play. As we're going to be taking a look at the specialist draft. We've got Kinetic Armor, Purifier and Scythe being picked up from Adept, and on the other side of things we've got Annihilator, Heatwave, Scythe and Kinetic Armor, and then Psychosis being picked up by, that is Culden.
Alright.
Yeah.
Adept Hero.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting name.
He's hoping to be their hero today, and we're going to see if he's going to be able to do exactly that. But for now, I want to find out your predictions. We do have a competition underway, and that's definitely for you guys on stream tuning in. So what you have to do first of all is have a Twitter account. It's mandatory. You're going to have to head over to Twitter, hit up Africa, or should I say hashtag AGCZA. That's the Astro Gaming Cup. So it's just abbreviated form, hashtag AGCZA. And let us know who you think is going to be taking this match. Will it be Adept? Will it be Energy? I want to find out from you guys on Twitter, and you'll be able to win yourself a pair of Control Freaks which we'll kindly deliver all the way to your house or home of interest. Yeah,
that's very nice.
So it's quite nice, those little thumbsticks. Do you personally use them?
No, I do not.
No, neither do I, but
I would recommend them.
Despite not using them, he still recommends them. That's my man, Tiana. All right, so we're going to be crossing over the action in just a bit. I said I want to see all the way to round 11.
Yes.
Do you have a bit more of a realistic prediction, or do you also just want to go to round 11?
The way I want this day to end, Nicole, with the final game today, I would love to see a round 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pretty much the teams are waiting for them. I mean, we've got Vinco in the 3rd and 4th place playoff.
Yes.
Then the finals, we have the big lads of Team Astro waiting for them. So we're going to be crossing to that action in just a second, as we're going to be just fixing one thing, and I'll be back with you in a bit.
Ja, je bent wel boekje. Ja, let's go. Astro.
Alright, and we're back on the action. This is Stronghold Hardpoint, and taking a look at the specialist classes, the two differences that we really have.
It's like Purifier and Heatwave.
Yeah, we've got Annihilator. Yeah, we've got that in hand. So, taking a look as well, Psychosis. From Hero, he's used it consistently. I'm glad that he's finally picked up a specialist that he feels really comfortable with. We remember when we saw that Annihilator yesterday? Basically sitting in his pocket for like 2 minutes. He didn't do anything with it.
And obviously the defensive score streaks you earn quicker than with regards to the assault score streaks.
Yeah. So taking a look at the players today, who do you want to jump on board with?
Mr. Drew himself.
You want to go with Drew himself. Okay, so we got Hardpoint. What is Hardpoint about? Can you give us a little bit of a rundown?
Hardpoint summarized, basically get in the hill, accumulate those points, 60 seconds of points per rotation, and yeah, rack up the points until you get to 250 or the time limit runs off. Yeah,
so you'll get 1 second per every second that you spend uncontested in the hardpoint. You'll get 1 point for your team. And right now, it looks like Energy Esports are busy contesting this, and it looks like Frosty will get taken out. VMP getting banned. Very interesting move from Adept. They seem to think that that's what their OBJ players from the opposition team are going to rely on. At the moment, it looks like Kuda's not playing off in the hands of Frosty, who has a bit of a slow start, something we're not used to seeing from him. As it looks like Eros is going to do some great work inside the hardpoint.
Already accumulated his counter UV and his HXD.
There we go, but Brutal and Robbie going to jump in and say, no way, bro, we're going to take away the points. Remember, when it comes down to the first hard point, it's all about a little bit of contestation and making sure that you can rotate to get those spawns. Taking a look at the spawn control right now, we've got Era trying to work his way down this right-hand side and trying to make sure that they can control this area as the hard points have rotated, and he's just going to stand on the outside waiting for them.
That's correct. Basically, Era just obviously trying to hold down the middle of mansion, and then obviously top mansion, because those are your power positions.
Yeah. As the hard point is currently picked up by EN. Big kill there by Era. He does have that Kuda in hand. He's going to need to try come up big in front of that kill. One shot away was his opposition from dying there.
Does get taken up by Energy Brutal.
But now Holden does hold down the hard point.
Currently 3 Adept players in the bottom of the hill.
Currently in the hill at the moment, but they get quickly swept out. As Jakes does come in with that big two-piece. Ooh, almost managed to get the third, but Drew's going to be able to shut him out. Alright, so we're currently on board with Drew. As Era looks to push in the hard point, but rotations are going to happen as not a lot of time really got picked up on that hard point. There was a lot of contestation around the area, and looks like early rotations going to happen from Adept, but they get quickly swept out of there. Remember, when it comes down to hard points, it has to be said, the lads from Adept haven't shown their full hand. I mean, they've probably shown their full hand, but they just really haven't used all their cards, if you know what I mean. They haven't been playing it the way that they'd probably like to. But when it comes down to the other modes, I'd like to say Search and Destroy. I was speaking to, I believe it was Cerberus a bit earlier, saying to, like, he is shocked how well they played against them.
I think most of us are, to be exact.
Yeah.
I don't think Team Adept have won one HD map this entire tournament.
No, they haven't. And you know what? Doing so well that they don't almost need to at this point. So it's been interesting to see how these two teams are going to be able to take this one. At the moment, Energy looking strong, but Adept are currently rolling their way in as Era does pick up that hard point.
Exactly. This is such a power position, y'all. You can basically watch the map power with just head glitch in the window. However, players seem to get overconfident and then they get picked off.
Exactly.
We just saw.
as Robbie managed to turn around, get himself kills. But also, you don't want to be watching by the big window. You don't want to be watching that area with a submachine gun in hand. So I'm not too sure why Aero was really doing that. He should have just laid down and cover and just waited for the opposition maybe to come around. But as they do say, hindsight is 20/20. As we jump aboard with Brutal, who will get a grenade to the face. As let's go over to Eros. He does have that scythe in hand, as the hard point does get picked up by them. Still anybody's game at this point, even though it is being led by Energy Esports, as Aero picks himself up a nice 2-piece. Eros is going to be able to complete the kill. Will pick up a nice kill on mid-map. He is so close to a counter UAV, but will get taken out. Drew now holding down the hard put on his ace, but Aero comes in support. Who's going to come out on top of that one? Drew now all by himself in this hard point, and will be able to come up with the kill. Oh no, does get taken out there by Jakesy. As with 15 seconds, it's all about the rotations, and that looks like it's going to happen in the hands of Adept, who managed to get the lockdown here. Now, Tiana, take us through this hard point.
Nick Holden, I personally think that this is the most important hard point throughout Stronghold. The reason is there's only 2 entrances. Basically, both entrances is a bottleneck. So if you hold one side and you hold the other side, you can accumulate the whole 60 seconds.
And it looks like a very good position from the Adept lads at the moment, but Brutal coming up with a big 2-piece of his own eventually will get taken out. So Era managed to regain control of that area and will come inside. Oh, and Frosty going huge with a nice 2-piece. Eros, however, going to cancel that out as he jumps inside with a scythe of his own. And the door gets shut down quickly on him as...
Yeah, you see the contestation now.
A lot of contest from either side here as Era will get dropped. And we're going to jump on board with Kalden, who will be able to keep a big kill there. Uses Psychosis. Going to be able to call out the opposition there, as it looks like Era and Hero picking up some big kills inside the hard point.
Good trading, good
and
trading.
Just like that, he does get taken out. So,
wow. Frosty with a double headshot 2-piece. That is phenomenal.
Funnily enough there, Astro actually, should I say Energy Esports getting the predominant amount of points off of that hard point. And now once again, Adept are going to look to get the early rotation, but it seems to be the holding of the hard point that is holding them back.
The holding of the hard point, yeah. Nick, with regards to the bunker hill, that hill is so important, but it's easy as hard as it is to be held, it's easy to break as well.
It is very easy to break in certain situations. If you don't get your setup just right, then you might as well just open the door and welcome your passengers inside.
With an open arms.
As Energy get 3 players inside the hard point now, just going to be abducting each one of those corners, making sure that they can hold the area. As kinetic armor does get popped there by Brutal.
There we go.
Brutal going big.
That's the Brutal we know.
Brutal, of course, one of your teammates in one of the recent tournaments during the 2v2. What are the aspects of Brutal's game do you enjoy, and what other aspects do you think he might need to focus on?
As I've said before, the kid is extremely confident in his shots. He is a predominantly slayer. However, I think he does get a bit overwhelmed with his skills, which does obviously lead to him maybe then underperforming.
Alright, so a little bit of, maybe that's just performance from lack of experience, we might say. He's got a lot of time on his hands to try up that in that regard. So as long as his shot's good now, he can work on the rest as he goes. But we jump on board with Brutal, your man, as the Kudu is, or should I say the Kuda. I'm not going to make that mistake. Kudu is an animal, whereas Kuda takes out animals. The weapon, that is.
Big Holden, National Geographic.
Alright.
Well,
taking a look, we jump on board with Drew, who's trying to turn this into a montage clip, but eventually does get taken out there. As Brutal will get traded out on side of the hard point. I do apologize for bringing up the menu there. Let's jump on board with Drew once again, who jumps back inside. Oof, meets 3 players from Energy Esports who shut him down in a heartbeat.
At least they've accomplished not the 47 club anymore.
Yeah, well, they're stepping out of there, but really, it's almost a throwaway map is hard point for the lads from Adept at this point.
That's correct.
Let's get our aims in is probably their best call out.
That's exactly what Clint was saying earlier. Basically take guys, the depot should be saying to each other. Let's take the hard points as a warm-up game, warm up our shots, warm up our confidence, warm up our call-outs, and then we bring it into the SME and the CTF, where we can obviously prosper.
As we mentioned a bit earlier, this is exactly what we thought was going to happen, at least for map number 1. Search and Destroy is going to be very, very interesting. I think if Energy Esports take this Search and Destroy, they are going to essentially knock out Adept out of...
and take the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree with you. However, we do know Adept to be an extremely strong S&D team.
Yeah, and it's going to be a very good map to move over to. We're going to hunt it after this.
My favorite.
Oh, I do love it. I just love the out of water jumping as well. I mean, you can use that. It's a brand new strategical element that got introduced into Call of Duty Black Ops And
Correct.
personally, I don't mind it. I think it's quite interesting.
I do say so myself, and what we see a lot of the teams doing is jumping through the waterfall and then popping out and surprising the opponents, which are currently planting on the B-bomb.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening a lot. And also you can get a lot of surprise attacks on your opposition. If one player jumps out, acts as a distraction while your other player pushes that long haul by the B-bomb side, I believe it is.
Exactly.
Alright, as Brutal does have that HXD, but it's not really going to come to use, as that is game number 1. Going over to Team Energy eSports, as it's going to be up to Adept now to really pull up clutch. This is where they're going to rely on their skills when it comes down to search and destroy, and this is what we called on a bit earlier from the lads. As we're going to kick things off in just a second. We're going to change the maps and make sure that everybody's ready, and we'll be back. I want to again clarify, guys, there is a competition happening right now. If you want to win yourself a pair of Control Freaks, you will be able to do that if you hit us up on Twitter with the hashtag AGCZA, as well as your prediction of who's going to take this game. Is it going to be Energy Esports or is it going to be a Team Adept? You'll stand a chance to win those Control Freaks. The competition will close at 6 p.m. today, but nonetheless, please as well, thank you everybody for supporting the stream. Really do appreciate it, as we're going to be kicking off the game in just a second. We'll be back in a bit. For the search and destroy. Now this is the mode that where we want to see Adept come back potentially. This is where they will.
I personally think that they will.
Alright, so Jakey straight away, that M8A7, he must have been Foster's fingers first there.
Surprisingly so. I wouldn't see the boys from Adept though banning the M8, because I know Carlin's pretty good with this as well.
He is decent with it.
Drew himself. Error.
I'm hoping to see some sniper rifle players. I believe in the 2v2 we saw Era actually pull out the sniper rifle the one game.
Drew as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so maybe see some interesting plays from them. Drew gonna go with the standard high caliber. We have flashbang removed, nothing really too serious about that there. RHXD, that's just gonna eliminate early streaks.
Exactly.
Overclock does get banned by Brutal. Interesting ban when it comes down to search and destroy, Overclock. Obviously not going to be able to get to the bomb just as fast as other people, so maybe just bringing back that counter to guys rushing bomb sites. So rapid fire will get removed.
Now the mandatory ban. Obviously Overclock Holden being specifically the perk you use to get your specialists faster.
Oh, sorry, I do apologize. I am confusing that.
Overdrive, overclock, it's a tongue twister.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a tongue twister there. As kinetic armor will once again get removed there, so nothing too dramatic in terms of the pick and ban phase. Now we go down to the specialist draft. This is where I'm looking forward to actually seeing what these players pull off.
Hopefully a little bit of a glitch, hopefully a little bit of a rejack. Sparrow,
I'm liking that.
We saw a Legolas player earlier.
We did see a bit of a Legolas protecting the fields of Endor.
and Mirkwood.
And Mirkwood, there we go. As Vision Pulse does get picked up, active camo from Brutal. Drew will pick up Overdrive.
Interesting things.
As we jump on board with Robbie gets that Heatwave. Heatwave I found a very useful perk, or should I say specialist to have when you especially go into, I think it's the A-bomb site?
Yeah, A-bomb site is inside obviously the A hut if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But in every game mode, Heatwave is always essential.
There we go, Frosty with Glitch, so maybe some interesting plays there. If there's somebody who's going to do it, can pretty much guarantee that it's going to be Frosty.
Exactly.
So Eros will pick up Heatwave, active camo. So the biggest difference here, really, I'd say Glitch, as well as Vision Pulse. We've got Psychosis, which actually wasn't picked up by Hero this time around, going with the Vision Pulse. So it seems to be his go-to in Search and Destroy. So we're going to be cutting over to that action in just a second. Once again, thank you everybody for joining in. This is semi-final number 2. And the winner is going to be facing Team Astro in the grand final, fighting for 10,000 Rand in cash monies, as well as those Astro TR headsets and mix amps. I mean, we've been using them all day. Unfortunately, not all the players get to go home with it.
Unfortunately so.
But they have been quite enjoyable. Been enjoying it myself.
Majestic headsets, as I would call them.
Majestic, like a noble steed riding through the night. Astro comes to you. All right, so as we do the voice plug, let's take a look at our scenes here today. As we're going to cut to the camera in just a bit. This has pretty much been the setup for the entire tournament. We've got the 4 stations on either side with the casters at the back. That's us over there. And we have got our audience around us as well. And I'd also like to thank everybody for joining us on stream. Tiano, this has been your first tournament that you've actually been introduced into the casting seat.
My debut tournament casting.
How do you find the other side of the fence?
Holden?
Is the grass greener?
Slightly.
Slightly.
I don't know. Right. I don't have to sweat and stress with regards to getting those W's for my team. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's obviously stimulating, and you know, I'm enjoying watching it from the other side of the mountain, like you said, the other side of the patch.
All right. I've got to say, it's always a difficult move when you go from. Well, I don't think I'm not too sure what your perspective is at the moment, but when you're going from a player to a caster, you want to be there. You want to be a part of the action, yelling at the players to say, listen, you need to push right, you need to do that.
Exactly.
But it's always nice to also be able to provide a little bit of knowledge, and that's where we appreciate your side of the involvement in that.
Thank you, sir. I do appreciate it.
All right, so as we're going to be crossing over, we're doing the Search and Destroy action at the moment, as it's going to be hunted, where we got Team Adept on our right-hand side, taking on the lads from Energy eSports. Search and Destroy. I said if they don't come back in this one, they're not going to make a comeback in this map at all.
I highly don't think so. Unless they do have what it takes in the reserve tank to pull out the CTF win. I highly doubt it though.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a momentum-based game.
It is a momentum-based game.
You have to keep on steamrolling.
As Energy are going to look to do exactly that, but they've got the likes of the Adept boys who have been going in confidence into Search and Destroy. It's a mode that they have not lost in thus far. So we jump on board with Energy, and we are currently in the viewpoint, in the riding seat of Robbie himself, who's looking to go early on towards
taking a quick dip inside the river.
Jumps across and will get the kill almost immediately. They're getting very aggressive as 2 players will fall down from Adept in quick succession. Hero now going to work his way underwater. Spots a player. No, is he going to go underwater and challenge?
I don't think so. I think he wants to get his air up.
There we go. Play on his left side will not come on top of that, so we're going to jump on board with Eros in a 1v3 situation. We'll be able to pick up the kill. Big kill there by him, but 25 seconds left on the clock. It's all to do here for Mr. Eros. Not too sure if he spotted a player. No, he didn't. As that is going to be Robbie clearing up the kills, managing to get the first and the last one of that map. or should I say out of that round, as we're going to go to the attacking side of Team Adept now, not looking too solid on defense, it has to be said.
Unfortunately not. I think it's basically how we called in the beginning of before the game. We said there's going to be a player who's going to dip inside the river. There's going to be a player who's going to surprise the player, obviously protecting the B-bomb sites, which Robbie did to a T.
He did exactly that. You did give that call out a bit earlier, so let's jump on board with Team Adept and see exactly what they're going to do. Who do you want to be on board with?
Mr. Drew.
Let's stay with Mr. Drew, as he's going to be pushing down this right-hand side. I don't think he does, because he doesn't have a secondary weapon in hand.
Well, does he not have any weapons? I was about to say. Running a bit too far with his fist out.
As we see, Era will get taken out almost immediately there. Jakey, however, will take out Hero as well. As there we go, oh no, Jake comes up with a second kill there. And that's going to leave Eros all by himself. It is 2-0 currently in favor of the lads from Energy Esports. So maybe slow down is the call out from Team Adept here, or maybe increase the... I'm not too sure what they should do in this scenario, as they seem to get in rush one by one. I mean, Energy have been very... they've been very aggressive in their playstyle thus far.
They have, and it's been working out.
It's been working out, so now it's going to be up to Adept to try retaliate, maybe set up a little bit more defenses, stay a bit further back from the bomb site, give themselves time to wait for the attack, which is something that they seem to be doing very well when they actually do set up a good defense. As we jump on board with Robbie once again.
You're gonna go, spotted up there mid-map.
Jumps back in the water, as Brutal will be able to pick up a kill here.
Basically traded for him.
Yeah. As Drew will be able to take out Jakes. So on the attack, we still have Robbie trying to work his way in. Doubles back his way around, doesn't spot anyone there, so he's going to get this bomb down, as it is a 3v2 situation. Drew's going to be able to pick up another kill, so Drew currently holding things clutch for his team. As now it's going to be an interesting break here for the boys from Team Adept, who need to work their way in. It's such a difficult area to try break.
2v2.
Oh, and there we go. So Era now all by himself, will he be able to come on top? That's exactly what he does. And now a 1v1 situation, no! And there we go. Energy Esports coming up clutch when they need to. RK5 in hand.
Hitting us. I love the play by Energy Esports.
Yeah.
You know, there's always a player there to trade for one another. They never solo push. I think the boys from Adept, they either need to be extremely aggressive, because clearly the passiveness on their approach is not working.
Yeah.
Just get aggressive. Just push it on the bomb. Stop going deep.
It's such a difficult thing to do though when you are behind. I mean, you want to be even more tentative, but that's really not helping them at this point.
Change the train, smoke mid-map, jump through heaven window, get into A, clear it out, plant it down. But like you said, you want to be a lot more tentative.
Yeah, as we jump on board with Hero here. As Jakes will pick up the first kill of the game. No, oh, Calden, come on, son. As it's a 3v3 situation at the moment, as we see some gunfire traded, as Eros is going to be able to pick up a kill here.
Currently a 2v2.
2v3. As there's a play on the bomb side. I think you thought that was a skull, but no worries.
Apologies for that.
As it looks like Calden will get taken out, so bomb does get dropped here. 2v2 situation.
2v2 situation. We actually currently see Uncle Jake's coming to the party.
Really coming to the party in a big way at the moment. Will he be able to come out on top of that? As no, Brutal's going to be able to come on top of that kill, as now a 1v2. It is Drew taking on the likes of his old teammate, his nemesis, Jakes. Spots out a player. Drew comes out on top.
Jakes out Brutal. 1v1, Drew versus Jakes.
Great move here by Drew.
The showcase we've all been waiting for.
Really like the rotational play from him.
Very smart.
As Jakes is now stuck on the opposite side of the map, just deciding to hold down B. But if he gets a good bomb plant here, he will be able to set himself up in a good position to try defend it. Now we are going to, as that bomb gets planted, jump on board with Jakes, who does have Psychosis in his hand. That's his ace up the sleeve at the moment. As that M887, mano a mano, the rivalry does get reunited right here, right now. As Drew comes up with a big kill, bringing them back into the game. So, Drew saying, you know what? Should have never gotten rid of me. As he does step up his game there a bit, as he uses that M8 to take Jakes out of that doorway. Picks himself up an easy kill in the end.
Very easy kill, shot in the back. That's obviously a good position, Alden, which a lot of the players do plant, so that they plant on that, specifically that corner of the A-bomb, so that they do have the line of sight, just to hold back so that they're not in the confrontation.
Yeah. Absolutely. So let's take a look at Jakesy, who's leading the scoreboard for his team at the moment.
He's basically Kitty's game up backpack. I'm going to carry you. This is a hero.
Once again, getting in that backpack, the old famous one. As Jakes does have Psychosis in hand, looks like a big B push.
Someone's swimming underwater.
Yeah, and no one's really defending the bomb site at this point.
Looks like they've given up on this B bomb site and are more protecting the A and 2 mid man.
As they do jump out of there, it looks like Adept now going to look for rotational play to try get the defensive one. As we see some gunfire in mid-map.
Bomb is down.
I think that was Drew with some good shots being put in. Oh, big play by Drew.
Okay, once again taking out his rival partner, Jakes.
It looks like we got a good rivalry on our hands here as the bomb looks to get defused. Brutal comes up with a big kill. There we go. Drew comes up with a big play, plays it out and uses his experience in his hand. Adept now back into this one and only 50 points away from streaks. That should get the dart. There we go.
He's got the dart in hand. This is going to be extremely exciting.
Good game so far, ladies and gentlemen.
We've got a game on hands.
We do once again, and I think we're going to get excited again. Just let's calm down a bit. I still remember my heart racing from that Adept versus Astro game.
Wow.
So maybe we're going to go all the way down to map number 5. But for now, let's just be conservative, focus on the action. 3-2, and remember it's still in favor of the lads from Energy Esports.
That's correct.
So let's jump on board with Drew. He's on the attacking side. He does have the dart in hand.
Overdrive.
Ooh.
Established.
Gets a lot of movement going forward here with that overdrive in hand. There we go, big kill by Drew. Full streaks there as he can now back up and try to pick up some kills.
That's the turning point of the game. I'm telling that right now. I'm saying it right now.
I personally think he should hold on to these, especially in the 2v2 situation. He gives himself more targets when it's a 4v4.
All the way right till the end.
As now it is currently 2v2, as we did mention.
Brutal and Jakes taking on Drew and Error.
Grenade does get thrown out, no connection made by Eva, as it looks like they're on complete opposite sides of the field here.
Yeah.
This might be a perfect time for, if they do get the bomb plant, to use that streak. Oh, Drew gets spotted out. There's the rotation.
The rotation's really okay. Jakes watching now.
And now he's going to rely on his teammate Era to come up with a big kill, and that's exactly what he does now. Brutal in a 1v2 situation, jumps into the water. Will he be able to spot out the player? And gets taken out, so good trade there from Adept, it has to be said. Protecting his bomb carrier very, very well.
Very well. That's it. I'll watch one side, you watch one side, buddy. I got your back, you got my back. It's as simple as that.
As soon as your gun goes down in the planting position, he managed to get the perfect line of sight there. The only area he could have potentially come from was all the way around. So Brutal deciding, you know what, I'm going to go through the water, cut off my entry time into the bomb. Maybe the wrong move.
Maybe the wrong move, perhaps. Situational at the end of the day.
Alright, so we jump aboard with Jakes. Actually, let's go over to Frosty. I want to see what he has with the sniper in action.
Here we go, finally, SVG thermal.
Alright, SVG not spotting out anyone off the bat. As Eros is going to be able to pick up a big kill against Robbie. Brutal's going to be able to trade that out, however, as it looks like a big push is happening towards his A-bomb side. Player's not spotted out on his backside, as that's Frosty closing up Mr. Culden.
3v2 currently, we have regards for the Energy Boys currently in favor.
As the bomb does get planted, it's all about the rotations here, but Frosty now going to try come around the side.
Drew clearly used his dart, but we didn't see him picking up.
Yeah, we didn't see that at all. As now it's going to be up to Era and Drew, as Frost will get taken out. Now it's Era by himself. 1v3 situation. Very difficult position to be in, to be honest.
Definitely, it's a time limit. He did the right move.
Taking himself out.
Do you A?
Add to their streaks.
Add to their streaks.
Let the bomb go off. Add to their streaks.
Exactly. That's accumulation of points that you definitely don't want to be going up against.
Good play, to be honest, by Era. Yeah, to be said. Taking out those players in a confined area with streaks in the hand.
Yeah.
Smart move.
That comes from experience.
Yeah, that's experience in the hand. As we take a look at streaks once again, so Drew is the only player with streaks in hand, as he does have that Hellstorm missile and Lightning Strike.
He could use the Lightning Strike to ping out his opponents.
I'm incorrect in saying that you can only do that once though, right?
Ping out once, and then the second one you don't get the ping, however then you can use it.
Yeah. As Hero will be able to pick up a kill now. It is a 3v4 situation.
Oh.
Era's going to come up with a big kill of his own there. And now Jake's by himself.
Jake's by himself. Will he be
1v4 situation. Will he kill himself? That's the question.
I think Jake's has too much pride to kill himself.
A little bit too much pride. He wants the 1v4.
Of course he does.
Currently doesn't want to sacrifice that lead. He's going to jump up on this one. Oh, and Eros comes up with a big kill to tie it up in this search and destroy. Currently 4-all. So momentum, you got to say, is in favor of Adept here, coming back from a 3-0 situation on this search and destroy.
They've brought it back. They're currently tied with eSports. Let's see what happens in the next 2 rounds. Next 4 rounds.
Potential next 4 rounds, as you do say.
Switching operation ready, boy.
Or is it next 3?
That's a good question.
I'm not. No, it actually might be. No, I think it's 3.
3. Okay, let's leave it at 3.
As it is going to be us jumping on board with Robbie here. He does have his fire break in hand. Heat wave, should I say?
Yeah. Possibly going to make the same play.
As Era picks up a big kill. And just like that, 2 players get taken out in quick succession.
Robbie wastes his
Drew uses his Hellstorm missile. Now Robbie all by himself. He must have had the call out there on the Hellstorm that he was inside B. So the players, I think, from Adept just group up. Can't take on 4 players, as he might have spotted a player there in mid-map. There we go, big kill as he runs into Hut, doubles back around, comes up big, but not unfortunately for him, going to be able to pick up the kill there. 5-4, currently in favor of the boys from Adept, turning around exactly when they need to.
Exactly, just like we said previously. That's trading.
That is trading.
That is trading. That is trading to a team. Sticking close to your teammates, obviously not too close so you don't get it, 2-piece.
Yeah.
But being able to be close enough just to trade that kill and get the round win.
Alright, so let's get on board with the boys from Adept, as we still have 1 lightning striker.
Nice, going to be able to use that ping. Potentially still get a kill, someone's wall running.
Here we go, lightning strike's about to be called in here. You gotta wait your turn, Drew.
It's a 10-second delay.
As we see a huge ping, obviously, towards that A-bomb side. As
Second out.
not connecting, but the information will be enough for his teammate there, as it looks like Era's going to work his way down this left-hand side. Does have that active camo in hand, so now it's all about Energy Esports trying to pull themselves together and come up clutch. Drew not spotting out anyone off the bat, but it looks like Robbie's going to be furthest forward for his team here.
Caution.
In a good position, really good position, I think, for his squad.
Definitely.
Can jump out of that water and surprise. Decides to...
Yes, that's what he's doing currently right now. Yeah.
Comes up with a big kill. Now ducks his way out, allowing his teammates to try push in here. Ooh, Era will get the kill here. 2v3 situation, should I say. As it's going to be Brutal and Jakey. Jakey trying to pull up the flank. I love how they're separating here, are the Adept lads, just making sure that they can stay away, give Energy enough room to move in, and then just hoard them.
Exactly. However, Energy do have the bomb plant in their favor.
As Jakes will be coming up with a big kill here. Brutal trying to come up with a defuse. Unable to do so. As Jakes will come up. Will he jump in? No, get shot in the back, and that is Team Adept coming back into this one. Tied 1-1 on map count. We're going to map number 3. It's going to be some good old uplink. And I believe it's on Infection, but we will confirm that with you in just a second.
Right.
So, what we've predicted, I've got to say, as far as analysts go, we've been pretty good at this.
We've been pretty good. Spot on.
As uplink, I still think Energy Esports is game.
I do agree with you.
Capture the flag. We have not seen it between these two teams.
Exactly. Which we'll come to.
Energy managed, Adept managed to take out Astro.
On CTF quite convincingly.
But that being said, you might forgive Astro for saying that they didn't take maybe the match as seriously as they needed to.
Okay.
After that hard point, they kind of said, whatever, these guys are easy. 250,
yeah.
Put them below the 50-point glove. That being said, I still think Adept really did well in that capture the flag. They showed strategically what a dominant team they can be when it comes down to that. But they're going to be facing the likes of the old dog, Mr. Jakes himself, who knows his CTF.
Yeah, he sure does. I think he knows. He could possibly actually write a book about it.
It's a long, long book.
I'm not entirely sure if any of us could read it though. That's an issue.
It's not the Optic Gaming book, as we're going to be crossing to the action just a bit, setting up map number 3. It is going to be some uplink. I do apologize, I put it on some CTF there, and I believe it is Infection on that side. If we can just get a rundown of the maps. Yep, it's going to be some uplink on Infection, so we're just waiting for both teams to ready up. So for now, things are tied, basically reset.
Exactly.
Now it is the best of 4 maps in a way? No, best of 3, once again.
2 more maps, that's it.
So now this best of 3, I'd like to think is probably playing into the favor of Adept in a lot of ways. We've got Search and Destroy and Capture the Flag. I think Capture the Flag is going to be the... Ooh, well, you never know with Search and Destroy, do you? I mean, we saw Energy take a 3-0 lead there, just to throw it away.
And also the previous encounter with Energy and Team Adept, I think Energy did end up winning that Search and Destroy.
They didn't play Search and Destroy. That's the thing.
Okay.
So now the mental advantage goes in favor of Team Adept. They've won the first Search and Destroy, which they haven't lost throughout the tournament. They have not lost the Search and Destroy.
Not at all.
They haven't lost the CTF, but there's only been one of those.
CTF, exactly.
Taking a look at Hardpoint, they've lost every Hardpoint though.
So from current past events, we could actually see Team Adept taking the win.
Potentially. I mean, and then taking on the likes of Astro, who have been shaken by only one team in this tournament, it has to be said, and that's Team Adept. So taking a look at the action that we have underway, it's going to be Energy eSports and Team Adept. Once again, if you guys are interested in getting in on the competition, make sure that you tweet out to AGCZA, and you make sure that you include that tag and let us know who you think is going to win. You're going to be able to win yourself a pair of Control Freaks. And remember, if you don't buy a ticket, you can never win. So if you don't enter, you don't have a chance.
Are us casters allowed to enter, Holden?
We're not allowed to.
Oh, man. These are the days when I wish I wasn't a caster.
Believe me, I feel like that with so many tournaments. I see the prizes and I'm just like, arr, come on, let me invite. Let me in. As it looks like the teams are just about ready to go, as we're going to be crossing over to Uplink on Infection. Now, Uplink Infection, very interesting map. I think it's one of the most balanced maps when it comes down to Uplink, especially. You have to do a lot of work to get to the opposite side. There's obviously running routes that get you close into throwing points, but it's very difficult because the spawns are located right by the Uplink point. So you're going to have to do something very similar to what we saw Astro Inferno do in that breach, where you get into your opposition spawn, make them spawn out, and then essentially you can do nothing.
Like we were saying earlier, he was basically a nuisance. He was there, he was a low pace, he was just taking them off spawn, irritating them, not allowing them to get out their spawn.
I'm looking forward to see exactly how the Adept guys are going to be able to react to Energy's explosive play. Even in the S&D, we saw them get explosive early on, but let it lose out a bit later as we see, take a look, should I say, rather, the pick and ban phase. So, M8 gets protected. Any other surprises there? Not really.
Basically common bans between the two teams, which obviously occurred in the S&D.
Overdrive almost has to be removed out of Uplink.
No, it has to be. It could also work in your favor if you know how to use it efficiently.
True that. It's such a risk.
It is a risk.
As Drew will ban out rapid fire, as well as high caliber does get removed. The EMP, very interesting ban from Robbie. He's looking to try protect their flags by using those armored sentries, those guardians, and we take a look at the specialist draft.
If I was Team Adept, I think my first predominant protection would have been the EMP. Knowing that the boys from Energy eSports can get their streaks quite a lot more faster than the boys from Team Adept.
Yeah, absolutely. So Scythe will get picked up, Annihilator, kinetic armor. I do like the Annihilator pickup.
Jax has been picking up that Annihilator, I think, the entire tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
It's been quite prolific with it as well.
He sure has. Kinetic armor, obviously a common pick. Active camo, common pick. Psychosis. Hero's been using it the entire tournament. And it has been working out for him.
We jump on board and take a look at Drew, who does pick up Vision Pulse. Interesting choice. We did talk about this a bit earlier.
It helps.
It does help clearing out the area, especially when you have players, like we said, about Inferno jumping onto... Obviously, he's not in this game at the moment.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, in that example of how he jumped onto that spawn,
yeah,
just helps you clear it out.
Clear it out. Also, if you get map position, pop it. Thereafter, you can just see where they're coming off of spawn. If you're obviously not aware of the spawns, perhaps one's already in the back holding the control at the back, then you can tell your teammates, guys, there's one there, one far right, one
and
far
give
left.
them the running route, and that's exactly that.
Clean sweep and then get a cap.
So your prediction when it comes down to uplink, are you going to be favouring Energy eSports or the lads from Adept?
From past spins, Nick Holden, I'm going to have to go for Energy eSports with this one.
Okay.
Which will bring it to the CTF thereafter.
Well, Energy eSports, they did put out a dominant performance when it came to the last uplink.
They did.
And now, it's a bit of a mental disadvantage, you've got to say, for Team Adept if they do lose this uplink as convincingly as they did the first time around against Energy eSports.
Yeah.
Because going into that CTF, you don't have the reliance of saying, listen, it's a brand new it's still a respawn mode. You still need to get those kills. But it's going to be interesting one nonetheless. We do have a game on our hands, that's for sure.
We sure do.
As it's going to be us kicking off with this game. We're just waiting for Eros as well as Drewy to pick up and make sure that they're ready up on their classes. A lot of good communication, a lot of happy faces around here as we are at Cape Town Raid. It's been a great day thus far. A lot of excitement. And if you guys just heard a buzzing noise there, I do apologize. We just had a quick fix on that one. As we're about to get started here, I'm eagerly awaiting the start of this game as they're going to change up their score streaks. When it comes down to score streaks, what's your advice?
Keep it simple. Counter UAV.
Yeah.
Very simple. HXD.
Yep.
If someone does pull the flag, you can take them out. And then obviously your Cerberus, if you are confident enough in getting those high score streaks, or your Wraith.
Yeah, I've got to say, I always love the Guardian as well as that Armored Sentry. Counter UAV is probably a go-to. It just allows you to throw a lot of confusion, especially if you've got Psychosis up on the board.
Sure does.
You just don't know where your opposition player is. If you pop Psychosis, counter UAV, you're basically just going to give free reign to give away your position as an enemy. You've got to be very disciplined when defending against that.
Yeah, one thing that the viewers must just understand, Holden, from a traditional CTF game, when the
Uplink
from CTF, you can obviously use your gun.
Yeah.
In this perspective, when you're holding the ball for uplink, you cannot use your gun. You're gunless. So, and then it makes it a 3v4.
All right, so we jump straight into the action. Robbie's going to be able to pick up the first kill of the game, pushing up in the mid-map, and four just down so quickly.
So quickly. There we go. Now you're going to see they're going to be bullying them inside their spawn.
Yeah, here we go. Era, should I say Era, is going to try rotate back. Spots out a player, not going to be able to connect. Will be able to, no, does not pick up the second kill there, as Jakey is now furthest forward for his team as they all get taken out. Will be able to come up with a nice two-piece.
Good shots there by Uncle Jakes. As we know, he has been doing so these past couple of years.
All right. As we get back onto the action here, we're still on board with Jakes, who's managed to do a stellar job with this M8A7 in mid-map. Just ensuring the team's dominance and map control.
Holding map control, watching the flanks, and currently that's the reason why Energy eSports are 3 points ahead.
As we currently on board with Era, who does get taken out, so let's cross over to his teammate. Eros does have that M8A7 in hand. Watching on top of this window, just trying to watch out the courtyard.
But it seems like they're being pushed back into the spawn. They're not brutal with the sexy 2-piece, obviously. 3 down again for Adept. They're not pushing up. They need to push up as a piece.
It's such a difficult task to do, because you essentially, in uplink, you need to clear your spawn, and then you need to be able to push up.
Easy 2 points.
Yeah, easy 2 points once again does get picked up there. And I like to see Adept try, just get their way, secure their spawn once again, and get their map control at least in their half.
Yeah, I do agree with you.
But right now,
Jake's on a 3-kill streak, Frost on a 3-kill streak. They should be playing for their score streaks.
As we take a look at Mr. Frosty, he's just going to make a little bit of a nuisance of himself in this side of the map. He's doing exactly what we saw Inferno do in that earlier uplink today.
Being that nuisance, irritating the opposite team.
But right now, it has to be said, Adept not looking at all confident when it comes down to uplink.
Drew with the 2-piece cleaning out, 3-piece Drew cleaning out, however, they did get a cap against them.
So not really doing much.
Talden needs to pick up his game, Nick.
He does. Currently going 1-6, and so is Eros, 2-7 at the moment.
Definitely need to pick up the game in order to contribute to the team.
So we jump on board with Robbie, who does have that ball in hand as well as active camo. This should be a secured 2-point for him and his team. As 2 players will go down on the defense of the Adept side. You've got to say, this uplink is looking like it just should get over sooner rather than later. And we might be hitting that 10-point mark in just a second, which will end the half.
Is it still like that? Like Advanced Warfare?
I'm not too... I believe it is.
I don't think so.
Alright.
Let's just see. We will probably see it soon.
Alright. If it isn't, then I do apologize. That's my bad then.
And if it is, I do apologize.
I mean, we haven't seen such a quick scoring game of Uplink thus far. Alright, ball does get thrown into a more secure position.
Rossi currently double positive, as usual. The kid's been working. He's been doing what he needs to do. I would love him to be on my team, to be very honest. I think everyone would.
I think anybody would want them in their team at this point. As we're still on board with Brutal. Popsy's kinetic armor doesn't get taken out there, as he managed to pick himself up 2 quick kills in quick succession there. As the ball does get picked up by Robbie, drops it in mid-map. Adept really need to try to do something, and they need to try to do it quick.
That's it. The Adept members currently counting over spawn. 3 Adept members
As 3 players down, and Drew's now left against Jake's Annihilator. And ball does get picked up and secured. That's 10 points, so it is continuation. These little questions, don't you love it when they get answered?
I love it. I absolutely love it. If I was the boys from Adept, I would want this map actually to end.
Yeah.
Just say, guys, let's take this as the hard point and let's just focus up in
Yeah.
the here.
At this point, it's not looking good from the lads from Adept, and just like you said, I'd rather, to be honest, I'd rather say GG guys.
Yeah.
You can take that map. Let's leave it alone. But
If there was a possibility.
yeah, if that was a possibility. I mean, it's quite interesting. It maybe is a mechanic that we might see in the future.
What basically let us
A
beat the
GG.
odds. Yeah.
Well, it's something we see in a lot of
I think
other traditional esports. I mean, you take a look at League of Legends, Dota.
You've got the option to veto.
You've got the option to veto out of the game if you believe you've defeated.
Under CSGO, they do have that as well, so that's actually quite an interesting mechanic.
Yeah.
It'd be quite nice to see that implemented into Call of Duty esports.
Vanderhaar, we are giving you tips and tricks.
All the way from South Africa.
Yeah,
Sunny South
exactly that. As 11-0 at halftime, it's got to be said that the Adept boys, when it comes down to hardpoint and uplink, just not looking strong.
I do agree with you on that one. I think when the boys go home tonight, everyone should sit up to them and say, guys, we need to focus up on our hardpoint and our uplink game. We need to swing something around before tomorrow comes.
All right, taking a look at the scoreboard though, we've got Jakey, 14-4. Going big.
Going big.
With Brutal alongside him. Robbie's just running in those points for the team.
That's right.
On the opposite side of things, no one's going positive on Team Adept.
Absolutely no one. Ooh, smoke's being utilized. That's an interesting idea. Guardian currently plays 9.
As Drew does get taken out, Brutal does pick up the ball.
Here we go again. Basically the same scenario as the previous round.
Bossy does pick up a kill of his own. Going to be another easy 2 points for the team. And out of sorts from the lights from Adept. Just not looking like they've got any control of the game at this point.
None whatsoever.
Kinetic armor just gets popped and doesn't really matter, as the site will do some decimate damage on his opposition. Counter UAV does get picked up by Brutal. And if you currently Team Adept at this point, what would you say to your team?
Can I be very honest with you? I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know what I can say to my team. Being 14-0 down, they will bring their spirits up. Honestly, don't know, Nick. I'm gonna have to ask you.
Well, taking a look at them right now, I don't see one of them communicating. Taking a look at the other side of things, they in essence don't even need to communicate at this point, as they can pretty much just pull a run around. But that's one thing I can say to Team Adept: just keep communicating, keep talking. Do you know how crucial talking is going to be when it comes down to capture the flag?
It sure is.
I mean, it's like that with every single mode, but capture the flag, it's just going to rely on a lot of their communication, and that's what I saw from them when they took on Astro. They were basically directly in front of us, and just mouths going off. I mean, we can't hear what they're saying at this point, so it just looked like a bunch of fish heads just going blah, 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 blah. But at this point, it's you got to feel for the Adept lads. Can they morally come back from this one?
Sure.
It remains to be seen.
We know that they can. We know that they've done it.
We know that they can. I mean, they've been in worse positions. Well, 14-0. I don't know what's worse, but they've been in bad positions. Let's just say that to come back. So it's all going to be about that map number 4, which I think is going to be a huge decider, that capture the flag. And the thing is, Energy, they're not going to underestimate their opponents when it comes down to it. They're going to try and pick up their game and make sure that they can stand toe-to-toe against the lads from Adept. They're going to be going in hard from the get-go. As Adept now just struggling behind. 2 minutes 25 seconds on the clock, and it all just becomes a game about running down the clock at this point, as it is a foregone conclusion. I didn't see them getting 14, or should I say 15 captures within that amount of time.
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Well, this is game over.
As Jakey picks up a dirty 2-piece there.
He's literally destroying with an annihilator.
Hero will be able to pick up a kill with that M8. Another big kill there by Jakes. Turns around and will get taken out there. Brutal does go in for the big throw. Not going to be able to connect. 17-0. It's really looking dire from the lads from Team Adept at this point, as Era now pushes his way into the middle of the map. Spots out a player jumping into the wall. Drew's going to be able to clean up the kill.
Do you think the boys from Adept have what it takes to bring that momentum back up in the CTF?
Well, listen, if they can do it against Team Astro, that's what I'm trying to say, is if they can do it against them, they can do it against Energy. But they're going to rely on a team performance here. They all need to come into action, and they all need to try come up big.
Yes. That is right. Yeah, this is basically become a game of just running down the clock, as you said previously.
Vision Pulse does get used and picked up on Brutal, but Brutal says, you know what, you can use your Vision Pulse, I'm going to take you out anyways. He picks up big 3 kills in quick succession there at the moment, and really getting his aim in, it seems like.
You think now finally Brutal is coming to the plate?
Coming to the fore is Mr. Brutal, as he comes up with a big kill once again. So 50 seconds left on the clock, 17-0 currently in favor of Energy eSports, but we're looking to have a more heavily contested match when it comes out to capture the flag.
Oh my.
Jakes comes out on top of that one.
World start.
Yeah.
Era.
Pretty much. That's got to drain on your confidence as just when it comes out to pure gun skill.
Exactly.
Alright, so clock counts down. The guys just need to try and maintain their composure here. And Energy are just going to look to continue the momentum when it comes down to this capture the flag, which we're going over, surprisingly enough, to the same map where they took on...
Breach?
Yeah, we're going over to Breach.
Okay, so it could be deja vu for the boys from Team Adept.
Yeah.
Will they be able to pull out over Energy eSports? I sure do hope so.
I hope so. I want to see a game on our hands. I want to see a challenger rise up to the occasion.
I want to see us get hyped again.
Yeah, I want to see us get hyped again. I mean, that was pretty much just... That was spectator sport at the moment.
It was amazing.
As Jakes, as well as
Double
Brutal,
30 bomb. Wow.
both getting 30.
Uncle Jake.
As
he can still hang with the big boys.
He can still hang with the big boys, as we're going to get set up with map number 4. It's going to be some capture the flag on Breach, and we're going to be back with you guys in just a Alright everybody, welcome back to the action as we just had to do a couple of changes to the settings there. As it's going to be Energy eSports taking on the likes of Adept. Score on map count of this best of 5, currently 2-1 in favor of Energy. As it's going to be up to Team Adept to try turn things around. They essentially need to win the next 2 maps in a row, but capture the flag seems to be their ace in the hole, so let's see if they're going to be able to do exactly that. Mr. Tiano, what is your thoughts? Take me through what's going on in that Tiano brain.
Currently what's going on, we are seeing exactly the same smoke screen being banned. That is definitely a curveball because we did obviously see the boys from I think Energy or Team Adept using it early on with regards to the uplink.
Yeah.
Everything else is the same. Only one gun being protected now, the guns being
looks
banned.
like Energy eSports banning away those smoke screens and making sure that they're going to be able to pick up that flag cap on at least the defensive side. So it's almost a defensive security ban. So let's see what the boys from...
If you want to put into that perspective, definitely.
From Adept are going to be able to do in this one as Heatwave gets picked up by Robbie. We've got kinetic armor as well as active camo being picked up from the lads from Adept. No surprises there just yet.
Nothing at all. You know what I'd love to see on the uplinks? When we get to watch another uplink game, the Ripper.
The Reaper?
Ripper.
Oh,
That's
Ripper.
Ripper.
Oh,
The
yes,
guy
yes.
with basically the Wolverine.
I do
sword on his
apologize.
hand.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But wouldn't you think that's something you'd probably use for hardpoint?
Breach specifically.
Really?
Yeah, if you get to the cube hill and you pick up the ball, you can rip thereafter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
A couple of the pros have probably gone in 2 to 3 pieces already. We've seen
Oh,
someone
wow.
do.
I've not seen that before.
I think that would have been quite exciting.
That could be quite exciting. Maybe something you can introduce when you get on the sticks again. All right, so taking a look at the action right now. It's some good old capture the flag on Breach. Now this is the same map where they managed to beat Astro earlier on. Just seems coincidental at this point.
Was it 5-3, 5-2?
It was a convincing one. I believe it was 5-2.
5-2. So they definitely have what it takes to be able to take out Energy Fear on the same map, Breach, GTA.
All right, so taking a look at Adept side, we said they need to maintain communication. That's going to be one of the key factors from their team, to try and make sure that they can keep things going, get themselves energetic again, but still keep that cool, calm and collected focus that they need from this game.
Yes, they definitely have to. They definitely have to keep that cool, calm and collectiveness. As you can see, all of the players on the team Adept are highly focused with regards to their facial expressions.
Yeah.
The boys on the Energy side are all giggling and laughing, as you can see Frosty with that Colgate smile.
They're in good moods at the moment, but it's going to be up to Adept to swing their mood into a more tentative, or should I say more tension-based one. That it's going to be... Listen, I think the Adept guys are morally on the back foot at the moment. They're going to look to early flag caps to try secure their way back into this. That being said, they did go 1-0 down on flag caps against Astro and still turned it around. So let's see if we're going to be able to see the resilient Team Adept that we did from earlier on today. For now, what's your prediction?
I'm hoping the boys from Team Adept to do what they did earlier and to take the win. 3-1.
Get us excited again.
3-1. Get us excited. Get us stimulated. Get us hyped.
Come on, guys. We're relying on you to get excited, get energetic once again. Remember, if you guys want to get yourself in on the action and walk home with a prize of your own, if you're not one of the 4 teams, this is the only way you're going to get a prize, is if you hit us up on Twitter. It's AGCZA, and then let us know who you think is going to be able to take this match. Will it be Team Adept or Energy? As we looks like one of the players dropped out, we're going to restart once again. Keep all the bans and protects that we do have at the moment, and then we're going to kick off with the game. So we're just going to break to a small break, and then we'll be back in just a second. All right, crossing back into the action between these two teams. We are going to kick off with the specialist draft. The teams are going to remain with... we got to once again just close things, guys. I do apologize. Just a couple of players changing settings there. I'm not too sure what is up on their side. We're going to be back with you with the action in just a second. Hold tight. Right, we are going to cross back into the action. It's going to be capture the flag on breach. A little bit of a break between the teams. Maybe it's a break that Adept wanted in a lot of ways. Just to get off of that morale depressing vibe that they were in a bit earlier.
Actually making me depressed.
Yeah, they were. 21-0 and Uplink will do that to you. As we're going to be crossing over to capture the flag. We need to see Adept turn things around so we can see a match on our hands. I want to go to that final search and destroy. I know you do too.
I sure do.
Something we've been talking about all day.
Yeah.
But for now, when it comes down to this capture the flag, it's a map that Adept have to have a little bit more confidence going into.
That's right. And obviously they showed us that they can do it prior when they took on Astro Infinite, and I'm sure they can do it again if they are all together working as a cohesive unit as they were early on.
Taking a look at the specialist abilities, we've got Psychosis in Calvin's hands. He used it really well last time.
Really well.
Then taking a look, we've got Annihilator. Jakes was a machine with that earlier.
I think he got a 4-piece at one stage.
He got 4 kills in a row, yeah.
Towards the end, yeah.
So let's jump on board. Who do you want to go on board with?
Gonna be biased and say Brutal.
Okay, we'll go on board with Brutal. And let's see what he's going to be able to do in his perspective. He is rocking that kinetic armor, VMP. He's got afterburner overclocked, fast hands, blast suppressor, so overclocked. Very interesting.
Very essential. You'll see now you're able to get his kinetic armor much quicker.
As Robbie's going to be able to come up with the first kill on the board. Adept Hero is going to be able to cancel that out.
All of the map, I think he did.
So in his efforts, he did get taken out, as it looks like Jakes is going to be able to... Oh no! Gets world starred by Drew.
He drew, putting Jakes to shame. His ex-teammate.
There we go. Drew gets himself up into a good position up on the opposite side of the map here.
It's a good play from Drew. He's obviously just waiting for his teammates to push up before making a move.
As Brutal's going to be doing some work on the flag, comes up with a big two-piece and should be able to run this one home, but they do not know that. Ooh, Drew, silly play by him, it has to be said. He should have just held up there and just waited for the flag return instead of getting all antsy and running that flag, as it looks like it will be an easy flag secured. Now it's all about Adept trying to regain control here. As Hero pushes up, we'll be able to pick one kill.
Will he be able to pick up the other?
Unfortunately for him, not able to do so, as we jump on board with Frosty. Currently 4-0.
Definitely playing for his streaks. Guardian, Sentry Tower and Cerberus at hand.
Yeah, he does have that sentry in hand, just holding down this left hand side.
If I'm not mistaken.
I believe they were.
Yeah, so he plays from there.
He will get taken out from behind there. We got a bit excited. But that being said, the flag does get picked up and immediately, not the same Adept in capture the flag. They had a lot of protection when they rolled up to those flags last time. This time not looking the same.
Each individual player had a role.
Ooh, big kill there as Era gets turned on.
Couple of players have been getting wall started.
Yeah, a lot of players getting wall started today, as Jakey will pick up the flag.
Brutal, 7-0.
Yeah, big kills here by Brutal, as he's now, remember, he does have that over, I believe. No, he changed his class actually. So not going to be able to earn those streaks as fast as he'd like. As Jakes will come up. No, he won't come up with a kill. Now that's going to be up to Drew or one of his teammates to try to return that. But flag will get picked up in favor of Energy Esports. So Adept going on the back foot of a map which, and a game mode that they seemingly love. Brutal, however, picks up the flag, pushes down this right hand side. And now it's going to be up to Adept to try and pull something out of the bag here.
Yeah, Brutal's obviously pushing through Palace. You can see that the route is clear. His teammates are obviously telling that the route is clear. However, the boys from Adept are being able to clean up the boys' energy with regards to their spawn. That's an easy cap.
That should be an easy cap, as the Guardian does get pulled out. That's just going to prevent Adept from rolling in there. As Energy stocking up on streaks of the lads, as the RHXD does get pulled out there. And will it get picked up as Hero comes up with a kill? And it looks like a little bit of a wall run.
Yeah.
Some skills being shown there from the RHXD. And no kill, as Jakes will be able to clear that kill up. Turns around, going to face Hero in the face, and Hero's going to say, you know what, this is our time to pick up the flag club. And Hero gets himself killed, unfortunately. So it seems like a clear flag cap if oh no, why do you go down that way?
Why you took that middle route.
The middle route is such a dangerous area to try and run that flag.
Your bounce get picked off. Your bounce get picked off, unfortunately, as we just see. He just did that now.
Just coming down to decision making at the end of the day.
I'm not entirely sure the parkour skills of these players.
It seems a bit shaky today, it has to be said.
Wow.
As Eros, as well as his teammate, I believe that's Drew, getting themselves up into a good position as they're going to be able to pull the flag. And this is going to give them the opportunity to get back into this one, as Jake's now furthest forward for his team. Frosty's trying to chase behind. Jakes will get taken out, and this should be an easy flag cap for Team Adept.
This is what Team Adept needed.
Yeah.
They needed to say, guys, we've got what it takes. I did hear Blackout call out earlier, guys. Let's go. We've got this.
There we go. As Adept claw their way back into this capture the flag. Are we going to see them turn around? I feel like once they get that flag in a secure capture, they know how to hold it and they know how to run it back.
The momentum starts rolling, definitely.
Brutal now currently 10-3. He seems unstoppable at this point with that VMP in hand. Hero's going to be able to trade out kills on the right hand side of the map. Brutal gets himself up to an advanced position as we see Eros coming up with a huge 3-piece there. Adept Drew on the other side, so Eros now just got to have to guide his way home. As Brutal is now furthest forward, picks up the flag, takes it to the opposite end though.
Good play from Brutal. Good play from Brutal, basically just picking up the opposite team's flag and trying to run away so that they can't get that flag now.
Now the pressure is on Drew to try stay alive here. They need to come up and find this kill. Eros not in really a position to do so just yet.
Will it be a stalemate on either side?
Oh, Frosty. Flag is down. Brutal's all the way home. But will the flag get returned? no, it gets picked up by Hero. The flag does not get returned, and there we go. Just like that, 3-1. Still in favor of Energy Esports, but we just saw flag capture from Adept.
Yes, we did.
Is there a good side? Is there a bad side to this map?
To be very honest, I think it's, with regards to Breach as a specific map, it's basically the same, I would say so.
Okay.
Spawns are the same. Everyone's going to be spawning Palace side.
Yeah.
With either or if you're pushing Electric, which is obviously the far left.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't necessarily think there is a favorite side.
Alright. It seems like the running routes favored by the teams at the moment are not through Palace. It's
I think it's called Electric, green to be specific.
As Jakey jumps up on top of Aircon, doesn't spot the player just yet. As Psychosis does get called out. Ooh.
Couple of headshots.
Couple of shots to the head. Brutal's going to be able to come up with a kill there on Eros. As it looks like Era is coming off a spawn. Hero is furthest forward for his team.
Brutal currently double.
Oh, big kill there by Culden. Oh, needed to hold that down for his team, allow them to push forward, but sort of managing to do that as they do come up on this left-hand side.
A wall-run confrontation.
Brutal does come. No, it looks like it got traded out by each other there, but Era now forward for his squad. Good position for him to try pull this flag. But on the opposite end of things, we see Robbie picking up the flag for his team. As, Eros is going to run into a hail of gunfire at the moment.
Nice shot side, but there is another player in Electric.
Ooh, and just like that gets taken out. So now Robbie being guided all the way home. Drew as well. Drew needs to come up with a big kill there. Doesn't manage to do so. Culden now furthest forward for his squad. I'm going to be unable to pick up the kill. So this should be a flag capture in. Oh no! Culden comes up with a big kill there.
That is 3 down. With Team Energy.
Oh, just like that. He will get dropped. So 4-1 currently in favor of the lads from Energy Esports, looking competent with 3 minutes 30 seconds left on the clock. Energy gets himself 3 big kills in quick succession. And now just waiting it out. You know what? Let them come to us. It's Brutal. Just going huge at the moment. 18-5.
Guys, I can drop a 30 bomb in the uplink. I can drop another 30 bomb in the CTF.
Looking to do exactly that, as it looks like Era will come up with 2 good kills of his own. Robbie watching this left hand side very well. I'm not too sure why Hera's just running head down, not really checking his surroundings there. Jakey picks up the flag on the opposite end and should have a clear running route home. But furthest forward for the team is Eros, who's going to jump on board here.
So Guardian obviously giving away his position wherever was the teammate that put that down.
Should be able to return that, but waiting a bit too long there is the lad. As Era now furthest forward for his squad, needs to try cancel this one out, not able to do so, but Hero picks up the flag on the opposite end of things. Does have Psychosis in hand, not going to be able to use it effectively, as it looks like 5-1, now a 4-flag game. They're going to have to try pull something out the bag of the boys from Adept, and they need to do it now.
They have to do it now. It's now or never. The captain of Team Adept now is saying, boys, we've got 20 seconds left. We have to go.
Step it into overdrive is the call, as it looks like Drew does have this flag in hand. Now it's all about the kills. Frosty picks up a big 2-piece though. Era is now the only player in support. Oh, and just like that, Jakes will take a bullet and put it right in between the eyes of Adept, and it looks like Energy Esports are going to roll out the convincing winners, it seems, in this capture the flag at this point.
That's it. Will they be able to get the flag cap? Steady.
Brutal brings the flag home for an easy cap for his team. Drew now trying to push forward on the middle of the map. Spots out a player on top. Aircon Era's going to be able to take him out there. They need to get aggressive and they need to do it quickly, but they need to do a concise group push up here. But with the scythe in hand, it looks like Frosty, or should I say Eros, is going to come on top of that R816.
Shaky shots.
Shaky shots indeed. As it looks like Energy just pushing through on this one.
They are flying down the lawn of Team Adept.
Frosty still with a couple of bullets in hand, will be able to come up with a kill. Picks out exactly where he needs to get the kill and eliminates his opposite player in quick. It's got to be said, it looks like Energy Esports are going to roll out this one, which means they're going to be progressing up against their old rivals, Astro Infinite, into the finals. And that should be a good game, which will be tomorrow. But for 3rd and 4th place, we will have the lads from Vinco taking on Adept. Taking a look at Energy Esports, it's got to be said, Brutal early on was the biggest determining factor in terms of kills.
He sure was.
The rest of his team, I thought personally, they looked shaky
They look shaky, yeah.
going into the start of it. But Brutal just managed to pull out strong, giving his teammates enough room to get some kills. And that's exactly what they managed to do there as the clock counts down. It's going to be Adept losing out on this one against Energy eSports 3-1. And it's going to be Vinko versus Adept in the 3rd and 4th player playoff, team playoff at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Then at 12 o'clock we're going to be kicking off with the grand final. It's going to be Energy eSports taking on Vinko Gaming for 10,000 Rand in cash money, as well as those Astro Gaming TR headsets. So that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen, for today. Day number 2. We're crossing day number 3. Tiana, once again say thank you to you, good
sir. Thank you very much, sir. It's been a long day.
As we are going to be closing off today's play. Once again, thank you to everybody who tuned in today. If you want a last shot at getting your hands on a couple of prizes, well, at least some Control Freaks, make sure that you tweet in to hashtag AGCZA. And make sure you just let us know anything you want to comment. Just throw it in there and you have a chance of winning a prize. Otherwise, that's going to be it for day 2. Any last words, Mr. Tiana?
I want you to cue for the stream your famous alright.
What's that?
Alright.
Alright.
That's all I wanted to hear.
That's not mine. That was stolen. It has to be said. But that's going to be it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you tomorrow. Make sure you tune in, and